Didn't face any problems? Okay, you can at least write yes or no if you did, if you completed the project. I just wanted to see how many of you did the project. It's okay if you, it's okay if you didn't do. I will be walking through you the notebook anyway. Okay. Anybody who tried and didn't complete, wasn't able to complete. Okay, so let's get started. I'm not getting much response, so that's fine. Okay, and one of the things that I need to tell you, uh, you can see this pip install right here. Uh, After you run the notebook on your computer for the first time, comment all of these out because these are for just for the first time when you don't have all these packages. After you install them, like I commented them now because when I run this cell again, I don't want uh, it to reinstall everything. Although won't reinstall to with everything, it will check if it is everything installed. I want to avoid that so that it is a little bit fast. And this one is necessary because we want to enable the file upload extension. And I have today downloaded 3 textbooks. I don't know if you guys whoever did the project, if you, what kind of text you used. I have downloaded 3 books, two of Shakespeare's books, and one, yeah, I also downloaded the Bible. So we have 3 books: Macbeth, Hamlet, and Bible, and we will be seeing, okay, what are the most common words in these books. Okay, and we have everything written. We have rest of the script written. Okay, we have rest of the script written, and we'll generate a word cloud, automatically generate a word cloud that you didn't have to do the word cloud part yourself. Okay, so we'll see what kind of words are in this. It's kind of impressive. It will do it in a few seconds. Okay, so let's get started. One of the things that I did, I was when I was doing this task myself, I added two more uninteresting words, for and not. This was not in the previous notebook. Okay, so I'll get started now with explaining everything. So we have some sort of text. In this case, I have already uploaded bible.txt. You can see, okay, let's do Hamlet. I have opened Hamlet and it is uploaded Hamlet, and Hamlet was already downloaded in my computer. So the contents, they are in this file contents. Okay, so you can see right here. Yeah, not right here. Wait. Yeah, these file contents will be using. Okay, so this function accepts the file content. It's just a string, nothing special. It's just a string. So we have this string now we have to work with the string. It is important to know what kind of data structure we are working with, data type we are working with. Right now we are working with strings. And first thing that I also told you last time, first we'll filter out all these punctuations. So okay, these are exclamation marks, bracket opening, bracket close, dash, square bracket open, square bracket close, and all these kinds of things that are not very interesting to us. Full stop, periods, these things. Okay, we are not interested in all of these things. So first we'll filter out all of this text. So I will make a new. I will make a new data type. I will make a new string. I'll show you what I will show you my what I am trying to achieve and how. First, I will filter out these punctuations. Okay. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare every single character in my file contents, and I will try to filter out these things. Okay. So I will make a new unpunctuated text. Okay, unpunctuated text. I will start it as a blank string. Okay. And now what I will do is I will iterate over this file contents, and I will iterate over each character. For character in for character in file contents, I'll just copy this. I don't want to write. for character in file contents, if character not in if character not in punctuations, because right now what we want to do is we want to remove the punctuations. If it is not in punctuations, so we will add it to our unpunctuated text. The way you will do this as is like this, plus char. Okay, this is a for loop. We'll use current unpunctuated text for each character, and we will add the new character to it. So this is a for loop. This is how for loop works. Okay, and yeah, let's okay, let's try to visualize this. That would be better. We'll fill out the function at the end. Let's just, I will show you the printed text without unpunctuated text. Okay, print, although this will be very long, but let's do this. Or yeah, this is wrong. Indentation important. Name punctuations is not defined. Wait, yeah, punctuations. Need to also copy this because we are filtering out the punch. Okay, so you will see now there will be, okay, you will say, okay, oh, let's print out the text here and compare it. Right now I'll be printing something which is not there are no punctuations are not removed. You can see in the starting text that here there is a comma in the starting of in the first line, then there is these commas and these periods. Okay, all these periods. So we'll not be reading through all of this, and you can even see question marks here, square brackets here. Okay, so we will not be interested, we are not interested in this, so we'll be filtering out. And you saw by doing this there are no commas, there are no periods, and there are no square brackets. Okay, so we have done the first thing, we have removed all the punctuations. Okay, we'll not go through all this text, it is obviously not possible. So now, did you guys understand this? How did this happen? If anybody didn't understand, please ask me questions. If you didn't do it on your own, and now uh, you want to learn, please ask questions now if you didn't understand any of this. This is important, like this is kind of the revision of the whole 3 sessions that we did, 3 or 4 sessions. Yeah, 4 sessions that we did. So if you have any questions, please ask. If you did not understand anything, please ask. Okay, so I think you guys understood everything. You guys are really smart. Okay, so now we have this text. You can see we have these words now. Now we can work with these words. We have unpunctuated text now. Now we can work with these. And now the next thing we have to do is we have to filter out these words. Okay, so before that, what we'll be doing this, we'll be splitting this. We'll be splitting this whole text into words, a list of words. Okay, we'll be splitting this whole uh, thing into a list of words. And we saw we saw last time that there is a method called split. So we'll split this text. And what does that split method does? What that split method does is it by default it splits on spaces. Okay, it splits on spaces. So let's see. Okay, let's visualize this again so that you guys know what I mean to say. You can also specify what kind of so at which point do you want the separation. Do you want it on commas or something like this? In this case we want to do it on uh, in this case we want to do it on spaces. You can see there are spaces separating this. Okay, so now let's see our result after we have splitted. We had unpunctuated. We have first we had first we had file contents. After that we have unpunctuated text. Now that let's convert that text into separate words. So that's why I named it unpunctuated words. You can see the kind of mnemonic naming that I am doing. Okay, so you can see that we have a list of words. You can see the tragedy of. Okay, we have something good here. Okay, okay, yeah, I think. Mm, okay, we have words now. Now let's go to the next thing. Now we have words. Now what we need to do is we need to count these individual words, okay, and uh, save those that count in this frequencies, okay. So what we'll do is we will iterate now over these words word in word in unpunctuated words because we have filtered. We had to filter two things. Oh no, we did not filter the second thing. Okay, okay. Now we need to do is we need to filter. Okay, remove punctuations. I'll write it down. First step was remove punctuations. Second one is we have to remove uninteresting words. Okay. Next thing we want to do is we want to remove uninteresting words. So now we will create another list in which we will save interesting words, and intuitively I will call it like I'm giving it the list interesting words. Okay, the list name is interesting words. Mnemonic naming again. Now I will iterate over every word for word in unpunctuated words because that is the latest filter out information that we have. For if word not in, we don't want it to be in uninteresting words. If word not in uninteresting, copy this. I don't want to deal with spelling mistakes, those kind of things. Okay. For if word not in uninteresting words, if word not in uninteresting words, we will append it to interesting words list. Okay. Okay. Dot append. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Don't feel shy or don't feel some kind of. This is like this. Right now we are doing the revision of the whole four sessions. Okay, we are using lists, we are using if else statements, we are using loops, we are using conditionals. We'll be using everything. Almost every kind of concept we'll be using here. So feel free to ask any questions. Okay, so we'll interest all these words into interesting words. Okay. So now let's see what happened. Now let's see if we have any problems. We'll see. Okay, if are we really on the right path? We'll see. Or do we need to do some additional things? We'll see. Now print interesting words. We'll print interesting words now. Because we have filtered out uninteresting words. Let's print out now interesting words. Okay, so I'll run it again. Some kind of problem. Okay, again, I have to copy this. Yeah, can anybody answer this? If I have run this cell already, and this is in the same book, same piece of code, like it's in the same file. Why is this? Yeah, this is a question. Why is this cell not aware of that thing? Can anybody answer this question? Can anybody answer this question? Why is this? I have run this cell. Why is this not available here? Why were these two not available here? Can somebody answer this question? Think. Food for thought. Okay, so we cannot per se see what happened here is, but I can assure you that uninteresting words are not there. But you will say this is this is not an interesting words. We need to filter this out. Where is the? There must be the somewhere here. No, no, no. Where is the? There is no the here. Yeah, the first word is okay. So this the is here, and just I'm still asking the question, by the way. Why is not that these words available there in the other function? That's still that question is still open. I want to know why. So you can see that we still have the here. Okay, we still have the here, but you can see this is uppercase the, and this is here lowercase the. One thing that we will be doing is what we can do is we can define uppercase the here, but I don't think that would be very efficient because maybe there may be some other kind of combinations, and for all these words it will be very cumbersome. What we can do is what we need to do is what we need to do is we can turn our text into lowercase, the whole text into lowercase, and we'll be then comparing it. Okay, because our main goal is to generate a word cloud. Okay, and we want a good word cloud, so we'll be doing all this kind of filtering. So let's convert every text that we have into lowercase characters. Okay, let's do that. Now I will define again this unpunctuated words equal to unpunctuated words, and I will use. Can somebody tell me what I can do here? Can somebody tell me what I can do here? Koi bolo. Okay, we can use list comprehensions here. I can iterate over the whole list. Forward in. Okay, let's see what happens now. Nothing happened. Oh, word dot lower whatever. Yeah, you can see now we see that the is also filtered, the is also filtered, and similarly, there will be a lot of other filters because we cannot look through the whole text and we cannot remember the whole text. So, okay, yeah. Does anybody have any problem with up to this point? Any problem? Any problem? Okay, if there is someone who is not able to understand what is happening, is there someone who is not able to understand what is happening? Yeah, please don't feel. Wait. If there is someone who is not able to understand what is happening, please feel free to ask. Anybody with the answer why was not this available here? You can say that you don't have an answer, but yeah, like this.
Don't know, sir.
Okay, so we talked about scopes. We talked about scopes. Okay, Remember, we had global scopes and we had local scopes. This uninteresting word, this whole thing, this is defined inside of a function. Okay, so its scope is right here inside a function. You cannot access it outside of this function. That is why even if I have run all of this, this is inside this calculate frequencies function. And here I had totally different. I was working in a different world for this. I was in a totally different scope. So that is why. Again, scope is important. You will have to keep this in mind while defining things. Okay. And now we have filtered words. Now we have everything in place. Now what we have to do is we have to now what we have to do is we have to do the final thing, and now we have to count the words. Okay, so how will we count the words? And we have to do it in frequency. So we'll use dictionaries because dictionaries have these key value pairs, and I can see that for every key it can be a word, it can be a different word, and its value will be the number of time that words occurs. So now I'll iterate for over these interesting words because we have now interesting words. We have everything filtered out. Now we have these interesting words that we can work with for word in. Okay, I'll ask you again question. Okay, no question for this. Okay, a for word in interesting words. For words in interesting words. Now we'll see if this word exists in a dictionary. Starting our dictionary will be empty. At the beginning, there is nothing in the dictionary, but there will be thousands of words that we need to take care of. So we'll be thinking in terms of those thousands of words. If word not in, please feel free to ask. Like I cannot. I'm trying to guess all sorts of questions that you may have, but I may not be able. I cannot able to. I will not be able to guess all kinds of questions that you have. If you have any particular doubts, please feel free to ask. Like all. Uh, yeah, there are no bad questions. There are. Yeah, and I will remind you once more that the whole reason of attending this workshop should be that you can ask me questions directly. Okay, because there are a lot of good sources out there through which you can learn the same thing. Okay, so if word is not in frequency dot keys. Okay, so we'll see if this word, if we have started the count of this word. We'll see if we have started the count of this word, and if we have not started the count of this word, if we have not started the count of this word, what will happen is we'll add this word to the dictionary. And if you remember, we do it like this, and we'll add this word to the dictionary, and we will say its count is 1 in the beginning. Else what will we do else? Else what will we do? Can anybody tell me? Can anyone tell me what else we can do now? We'll just add every time. Okay, we have counted this word before, and now the word occurs again, and we will count it again. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Cannot import name word cloud from partially live mode. Most likely due to a circular import. I was having this error 12.3. Cannot import new word cloud. Okay. Did you run this cell? Like, were there any errors when you ran this cell, the first cell? Were these pip installs successful? Were these pip installs? I wrote my own code. I don't understand what do you mean by this.
I actually installed just the word cloud and I didn't import file upload and widgets.
Yeah, that is fine. You don't need to do that. You can even open file with any other way. Yeah, that should not be a problem because these are different things. And it said word cloud from. Did you install the word cloud properly?
Yes, it showed it properly. I checked in the command prompt.
Did it when you import it? Does it generate any error? Okay, yeah, this error is generated when you import it, right?
Mhm. That is why I wanted to ask how to resolve it.
Yeah, so I cannot tell you exactly how you can resolve it. You will have to Google this because I have not come up through across this error. And you can see all these things on Stack Overflow.
I can send you my code and if you could check.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, yeah. Please do. I will see what is the problem. Okay. And I may not face the same problem because in my computer, word cloud is already successfully installed, so I may not get the
Yeah, yeah.
same error. But yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
I just wanted to see if the code runs well or not.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Yeah, please send me the code and I will get back to you.
yeah, it's in the chat box.
It's in the chat box.
I have considered
Mhm.
uninteresting words which are lesser than four alphabets.
Okay. But if you are working with Bible, God is an important word, and that is for three characters.
That
So
that I was not expecting.
yeah, God.
We can do that two or three maybe.
Yeah, two and three, but these puncture the you can use this word list. Okay, plot. Okay.
Word Writing a word list would be a hectic task.
Yeah. Oh no, that's why I provided you code with on GitHub. You can just copy it from there. Definitely, it is cumbersome. Okay, okay. First let me get finished with this, and I will try to run this after this. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Okay. So now what we'll do is every time we get a new word, we start its count as one. After that, we add its count. Okay. Let's see. Let's run this. Now we have our function. Okay, let's visualize the result first. Let's visualize what we just did. Oh, frequencies is not defined. Yeah, okay. Scope. Like I was saying, scope very important. Scope is very important. You can see tragedy. That was the first word. It's repeated three times. Hamlet is repeated 107 times. I have not read the book. I think that it is maybe the main character. I don't know. I don't want to sound dumb. Approaches is for one time, ambassadors six times, to 26 times, players 23 times. Okay, so there are a lot of words. We can see it has counted the words successfully, and there are a lot of words. Okay, and now what we have to do is we did everything. We did the filtering. First, we filtered out unpunctuated words. Then we uh, unpunctuate sorry, first we unpunctuated it, like is we removed all the punctuations, then we removed uninteresting words. We also changed it to lowercase so that uppercase, lowercase, all cases will be handled. A proper word count will take place. and then we counted the words. And now let's display. Okay, so this is your word cloud. The bigger the word, the bigger the word, the more times it has appeared. So you can see ham, king, lord, thou, as you can, the old language used thou. Now we don't have this thou word anymore. Thy, thou, hamlet, would, king, would, come, let, lord. Okay, most, like, these are the most repeated words, and it will change if I run. It will not change. It will be the position of the words will change. Okay, so these are the most common words. You can see Lord, Ham, Good, King, these, Shell, Hamlet, these are repeated. You can generate different word cloud. Okay, so this is it for the word cloud. Okay, let's see some other book. Okay, so you can see now. Now we have written all the code. Let's see Macbeth. Let's see. Now we have this text. I will comment all of this out. We don't need to visualize all of this. We have already done this. I will be deleting this cell. Will also be okay. So now we have a new book, that is Macbeth. We just ran this. Wait for a few seconds, and you can see that we have the word cloud generated, and it went through all of this code. Okay, it went through all of this code, and you can see how effectively it is, how fast it is reading through the whole book. And yeah, these are the most common words. Okay, these are the most common words. Let's see the Bible. What are the most common words in the Bible? Okay, open. You can appreciate how fast this is happening, because we know how much time we'll take to do this. Yeah, I think we knew it. Well, if you have heard anything about it, you can agree with these, that these are the most common words, like shall, thou, God, obviously, said, children, and Israel, children of Israel. It talks about a lot about children of Israel upon. Yeah, these are the words. Okay. Yeah, son. Just maybe New Testament. Okay. Does anybody have any questions related to this? Any questions? You can use this on your favorite book and see. And if you want to filter out some words, okay, I don't want to see this particular word, or okay, let's see what are the you can just write these in uninteresting words, these words, and you will see the next thing that is generated. Okay, you can even save these word clouds. You can just search how to save images. We'll be doing that in computer vision part. Does anybody have any questions? Please you can ask. Yeah, mark your attendance. I will run this guy's code. I'll see what is happening. For your code, I will also use x equal to, I will use file contents, the same I'll use the same Bible. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. String object has no. Okay, we are reading the file. Okay, we don't need to read now. We can just directly split now. It can just directly split it now. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, it's working on my computer and seems right. Yeah, your code seem works perfectly on my computer. Although you can use. Yeah, okay, it works. You will have to see regarding the installation, what is wrong with your installation. But yes, your code works. Good job. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. If you want me to repeat the whole thing, just say. I will repeat the whole thing. There were some people who were late. No worries. If you want me to repeat the whole thing, I can repeat it, the whole thing. Just let me know.
Sir, you have recorded the session now.
Yeah. I am recording the session. But I am live. Please, please, please. If you have any questions, ask me here. तब
Sir, you
तब
have recorded the session. Then I will, sir. I'm late, sir. I will watch the previous part.
yeah, but okay, you
So,
still have.
so me too. I missed like two sessions. So
You missed two
that's why I
sessions.
wanted. Yes, sir.
Okay, I cannot repeat the whole sessions. You will have to watch.
No, no. I'll watch your videos, sir. No,
Okay.
no problem.
Yeah, I will.
Then if you're free, I'll ask.
Yeah.
Then
Please
answer my
do.
doubts.
I'll be more than happy to answer your question. And that
So
is one of
much
the main.
appreciated.
No problem, because that is one of the reasons that I'm taking this workshop. You guys have a lot of resources to learn. Everybody has in this time. But yeah, the main thing is that you should be able to ask questions. And you don't ask questions. You don't ask many questions. Hmm. Okay. Anybody else who was here who has the doubts, please feel free to ask. And अगर कोई क्वेश्चन पूछेगा, if somebody asks a question, सबका भला होता है उससे. Because some people are shy and ask questions. I don't ask questions, by the way, anywhere. But yeah, I profit from other people asking questions. No, I don't ask questions on online meetings. I don't attend online meetings.
Ibad bhai, can we take the attendance?
Yeah, please do.
Everyone, please fill the attendance form.
S- Sir, what is that? Sir, dynamic dictionary type से क्या? सर वो डिफाइन फंक्शन डेफिनेशन का स्टार्टिंग में डिक्शनरी को पॉइंट कर रहा है.
कहाँ पे मैं समझा नहीं.
सर डी एफ कैलकुलेट फ्रीक्वेंसीज टेक्स्ट डॉट लिस्ट है ना सर. फिर उसके बाद सर वो एरो डिक्शनरी को पॉइंट कर रहा है. मतलब सर क्या वो कुछ लिंक लिस्ट टाइप का है?
Yeah, I don't know this. This is somebody else's text. Yeah, I have worked with this, but right now I don't remember this. Can you tell us why have you used this? I have used this with couples and some classes. Can you tell us why have you used this thing? Mayank, what exactly this is this doing? Hello, Mayank.
Yes, sir.
Why exactly have you used this syntax? Like I have used this syntax, but I don't remember right now. Can you please tell us why have you used this syntax exactly?
I actually studied back a year ago, and this is how I do it. So
Okay.
that's just akin.
Okay, okay, okay. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, I have
तो
worked.
भाई लॉजिक कैसे लगाया था तूने? हेलो,
हम्म,
मयंक से मैं पूछ रहा था सर,
अच्छा।
लॉजिक कैसे लगाया?
अरे इसमें पहले हमने देखा कि कौन सी फाइल हम इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, वो फाइल इंपोर्ट करी। उसके बाद हमने उसमें कैलकुलेट किया कि कितने जो हमारे नंबर हैं वो कितनी बार रिपीट हो रहे हैं, हमने वो कैलकुलेट फ्रीक्वेंसी से चेक कर लिया। उसके बाद हमने क्या किया, हमने किया कि जिन भी वर्ड्स की लेंथ 4 से ग्रेटर है हम उनको कंसिडर करेंगे, और अगर उनसे कम है तो नहीं करेंगे। फिर उसके बाद जैसे सर ने बताया था कि +1 करके हम काउंट करते रहेंगे कि वो कितनी बार रिपीट हो रहे हैं। बस उसके बाद हमने फाइल कंटेंट्स में से चेक किया कि मतलब कितनी फ्रीक्वेंसी आ रही है, और बस सीधा पैलेट शो से हमने वो पैलेट डिजाइन कर दिया।
और वो की फंक्शन क्या है जो कीज करके लास्ट में हुआ फॉर वर्ड इन वर्ड्स का लूप में?
कहाँ पे?
फॉर वर्ड इन वर्ड्स का लूप में कीज करके क्या है?
फंक्शन है।
फंक्शन है, अच्छा। सर ये बात सर ये वो कीज क्या फंक्शन?
Yeah, this is for dictionaries. This returns the keys. Dictionary. This returns
रिटर्न्स
the
द
keys. Yeah, this returns
कीज,
the
अच्छा।
keys. Keys, as in they say, like I was showing you. Okay, let me show you. Let me build a dictionary. Okay, so I am building a states dictionary again. Just for example, we have state Maharashtra. I don't. Maharashtra की capital Mumbai है. Okay, I'm may not be 100% correct. I know. Say Karnataka. Karnataka की कर्नाटका की कैपिटल Bangalore Bangalore है, और मे बी बेंगलुरु बोलते हैं. So okay, so this is the key, this is the key, this is the value. So when we want to access all the keys, okay, what we'll do is we'll do something like this. Okay, this is a method, so it will return all the keys here. So this is what this key
ओके
means. Okay.
ओके
And yeah, I read about this arrow wali cheese. This is just to like if you don't do this, this will not affect your function in any way. I was just reading about it. This is just kind of a reminder. It has more than a reminder function. It is called annotation, or wait. Uh, yeah, I will send this doc file. I'll send this link. Read about it here if you guys want to.
ओके सर, ओके सर।
This arrow thing, this particular arrow thing. Okay. You can define types like this. You can define like if you are doing physics, you can define units like this, and then maybe in the documentation you can get this. I don't have not marked with them much, so I cannot answer in much detail here this question. Does anybody have any question related to the syntax of this particular thing? If you have no questions, okay, we'll move on then. I have a few of the list methods that we need to cover. I'll share another tab with you guys now. Stop representing. And you cannot know everything about at least a programming language. So yeah, read documentation if you get stuck with something. Okay, so I have some list methods that I did not cover last time. So first method will be copy. Remember last time we had a list a equal to 1 2 3 4. Okay, and then we had something like b equal to a. This was call by reference. Whatever changes we make in a, it will be made in b. The other way was, if we don't want to use call by reference, we can use call by value, and we can copy like this. So whatever changes are made in b, none of the changes happen in a. So okay, so now another thing that you can do is you can do this. You can use this method, a dot copy. So now b, this will return a copy, and that will be saved in this variable b. Okay, so this is the same as this is the same as I think this is the same as call by value, like this. Okay, but it is easier to remember, and just returns a copy of the same. Okay, there is always some difference, otherwise it will not exist. But yeah, superficially, yeah, they are the same. Maybe there will be some underlying difference. But yes, if you want to create a copy of a list, you can do is a dot copy, because many of the list operations, what happens, it changes the list itself, and we don't want that every time. Okay, so this is how you can copy the list. The next thing is, okay, you a lot of times you will need to sort a list. Like we have this numbers list. Now we'll pick up the pace of the workshop. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. When I print this list, you will see that these are in the same order. But what if you want to sort them in ascending order or descending order? Okay, so what you can do is you can use sort method. Print numbers dot sort. Okay, numbers dot sort print numbers. Okay, so you can see this is in ascending order. This got ordered in ascending order. You can also do something like this, and it will be arranged in descending order. Okay, and by default this is always false. Okay, in this case by default this is false. If you do write this, if you want to do it in descending order, but automatically it arrange in ascending order. But if you want to do it in descending order, you will have to give this reverse equal to true. And you can even do, yeah, okay, you can even do it for names. Sort again. These things are very useful. Okay, I'm writing freestyling now. Okay, so print names. Now if we sort names, we sort names, print names. Okay, so what is happening here is it sorts it sorts it on the basis of the characters, the first character. Okay, this is how you do, and you will say capital will take precedence over, maybe, wait, let's say, yeah, capital will take precedence over this. Okay, so this is how you can sort. These were the three things. And even if you have a particular list like this, if you have a list like this, reverse, if you have a list like this, you can names dot reverse, and then we print names. Okay, so the list is reversed. And similarly you can do for numbers. So these are the three methods that I wanted These are the four methods that I three methods I wanted to show you. These may come in handy. Okay, so this is now we are done with basics of Python. This was it. If you have any questions, please feel to ask. We'll be going on to NumPy. NumPy. Any questions? Okay, let's do some questions. You don't have any questions, I have some questions. Write a function for this. Okay, I will write return 0 in this case. Okay, so from a given list of numbers, find out the largest number. This is your question. This is a pretty straightforward question. It should, if you have understood everything clearly, it should take you a minute. Not even a minute, but yeah, minute sounds reasonable. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. This is very easy. And it's not like you have to write the whole algorithm khud se. You don't have to write it yourself. I just introduced a method that can do this for you. Anybody done? Please, guys, you will have to, if you don't attempt these, you will have to attempt these if you want to learn. Otherwise, don't worry. Go. Anybody who did this? Yeah, you can use the max command, definitely. But thoda above, if you are not writing the whole algorithm, so you can use the max command, obviously. Yeah, you can use the max command. So what he is talking about is there is this max command in Python. What you can do is you can just write print max of these numbers. 93. Okay, you can use the max command. This is also one of the commands of Python. But yeah, you can write this thing on your own. Has anybody finished? Okay, numbers dot sort. Okay, yeah, sounds correct. Sort, yeah, ascending order, and then last one. Yeah, good. You can try to do the algorithm way, not even sort. That would be better. Write the algorithm if possible. Okay, these are small things. Okay, so what Mike did is, what he did is, he took out the numbers, said numbers dot sort, and then just return numbers, because we know that it will be in ascending order, and -1. And then what he has to do just is return. I think this will work. Yeah, return 93. Okay, so this is the answer. Don't worry if you guys are not able to do this. The important thing is that if you are doing it for the first time, it is not possible that you learn everything. You need to spend a lot of time working with Python or any other programming language. Don't feel disheartened, is what I'm trying to say. Slowly and steadily you will learn this if you give it enough interest. Okay, you don't need to feel disheartened if you are not able to understand the whole thing. Okay. Just reading. When there will be an extended advanced workshop for Python where we can learn ML and AI and blockchain Django framework. Okay. This form is for personal feedback, like this workshop feedback. I don't know when these workshops will be held by SAE. I was thinking about doing AI ML workshop, maybe deep learning, but I will have to see. Right now, I don't have much time. Okay, so this is it. Mm, maybe we have some. You can do the same for the smallest number, and in that case, you just have this will be replaced by 0, and you will have the smallest number. Okay, because ascending order. Okay. You can even read more about it. Like there are keyword arguments. I cannot cover everything during the workshop, but there are other these other things, keyword arguments related to functions. There is object-oriented programming, which comes in really useful when you have to work, when there is some repetition of work. Uh, you can even, with this current knowledge, you can even make some sort of a like student database, like basic, not something that will be useful. Maybe we'll do that later. Okay, now let's move on to the next thing. We'll start NumPy today. NumPy. We'll be just introducing NumPy because the main focus after this is not NumPy or Pandas. It is computer vision. So we use a little NumPy in computer vision sometimes. That's why I will just introduce it. Okay. Okay, we'll be moving on now. Anybody has any questions till now? Please feel free to ask. Will be moving on to the next part. Now Python basics are over. Now we'll go to NumPy. Okay, so these are the imports. Okay, we'll be importing these things. This is system. I don't know if you'll be using this here. maybe we'll see. And yeah, now we'll be working with NumPy. Now we'll be working with NumPy. NumPy is we'll be learning what NumPy is. We'll be importing this as NumPy as NP, and we'll also be using Matplotlib. Matplotlib is the library for plotting graphs, even showing figures, and even showing images. Okay, in Python. So we'll be importing all of this, and if you want to install them, you can just Google pip install. If you want to install them using pip, you can just Google pip install matplotlib by matplotlib, and there is also a lot of documentation related to these. Matplotlib is also a very comprehensively documented library. Matplotlib documentation. So, okay. So yeah, you can see there are all types of plots. There is also Seaborn library for different type of. You can even go to the tutorials and yeah, I visit these tutorials a lot because like I said, there are so many things that you cannot remember each and everything. Okay, so from time to time you will have to visit this because for different types of plots you will need different types of charts. You will need different types of plots. Okay, you will need sometimes scalars, yeah, scatter plots depending on your work. So yeah, always use official documentation. They even have the code and everything. You can even download the all this code and this whole Jupyter notebook. Okay, so everything is, you can work with everything. Like these have very good. You can even learn how to generate exactly this logo using Matplotlib. Okay, and same goes for the NumPy. I'm showing you documentation because it is very important. Okay, NumPy documentation. You can see, visit NumPy, and what is NumPy installation, how NumPy contributor guide, installation on. Yeah, okay, so there are also some sorts of tutorials or all this kind of code. I'm telling you this because you will definitely be stuck. You will need some methods. Okay, then you will have to Google. Okay, what kind of methods exist? You can see these are just two, and then if you want to go in other like machine learning or somebody wrote Django, so there are a lot of functions. There is a lot of functionality, and you cannot learn all of these things. You can learn all of these things. You cannot memorize all these things. So I'm just showing you where you can go and learn different things. Like here also they are using Matplotlib, so you will have all these mingle tutorials, and you will also have this stack workflow. Where
Sir,
yeah, yeah,
where do we learn Django from? Django framework.
yeah, you can learn Django from their official tutorials. You can
What
learn.
was?
There is also there are there is a proper Django tutorial, and you can even follow. So yeah, you can say intro to this is the whole course they have on their website. You can follow these tutorials. You can use I have seen various YouTubers, they use these tutorials to explain. They have a walkthrough of all these tutorials. Okay, so Django is for making websites. Okay, front end, back end, everything. I don't know much about Web3 though. Okay, so yeah, you can use all these websites. Everything is very well documented. Okay, you can also use other websites. Like there are many websites that you can use, but uh, the best quality work is in the documentation. Okay, so okay, let's get started with NumPy now. So these are the two functions. These are just plotting functions. I will not go them. We'll be using them later. Not important for Python. Not important for this. Okay, you will learn about these when you will work more and more. Okay, so here is a list. So here is a list. We have a list called A. We have seen that zero indexing, 0 1 2 3 4. There are two types of data types. There are integers and there are strings. Okay, So this is how data is stored, and we can access each of the element like this. We know how indexing works, how accessing a particular, how we can access a particular element using its index. And then the first thing that we'll do is we'll import NumPy as NP. I can import NumPy as Ibad. Doesn't make much sense, and we can just write import NumPy, but I don't want to write down NumPy dot array. You can even do something like this: from NumPy import all, and then you would not have to. I think you would not have to write this, but we'll be following the regular conventions. Importing NumPy as NP, and then we can how do we create a NumPy array? What we do is we take a list. We take a list. We take a list. In this case, this is the numbers list, and we convert that list into a NumPy array. This is always how we do it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we take a numbers list and we convert it into array by using numbers by using NumPy dot array. So this is your wait. This is your NumPy array. Okay, and you can see here is unlike you can see here is the data type is of the same type. What will happen if I write 1.0? All of this was converted into floats. Okay, so keep in mind NumPy only accepts one kind of data type. Okay, NumPy only accepts one kind of data type. This may have generated error before. They keep it on improving Python, so I think that's why it was able to handle this. And it converted, yeah, in NumPy arrays the data type is of singular type, there single type. Okay, and you can access the element the same ways. It follows the same indexing. Once you have created a NumPy array A, it follows the same indexing. Okay, 0 uh, 0 indexing. A0 will be 0 and A4 will be 4. Okay, and if you we have used this method before. If we want to check what kind of uh, array we have, we can see that it is of the type NumPy ND array. ND means this is not showing that this is the first one-dimensional array. N-dimensional means it is NumPy N-dimensional array. This can be 1D, 1D or 2D. I think also 3D. And you can, even if you want to check, okay, what kind of data is stored in this A, you can use D type. What kind of data type? Okay, you can see mnemonic function names here. So we have a data type of int 32. Okay, if I change this here to 1.0, we know all of this will be changed to floats. If I run this cell again, it will say that it is float 64. Okay, so data type has changed, and it this way you can access the data type. And similarly, like this is the array of floats. You can see in between the brackets we have a list. Okay, don't confuse yourself. Between the brackets we have a list. And type B, it is a NumPy array, and the data type is of float 64. Okay, so these are methods. Now we'll be going fast, and today we'll finish with 1D and 2D arrays, and we'll conclude the workshop. Tomorrow we'll be start with computer vision, and we'll learn about plots there. Okay, and depending on your response, I will be adjusting the level of things that I will. I don't want to keep talking to myself. Till now it was fine because, but yeah, depending on the response, I will be teaching you. Okay, and you say we created this array again. We can change the value of array. Okay, we can say C0 is 100, like in normal lists we used to do. Okay, first it was 20, now it is element 0 is replaced by 100, so now you can see it is 101. Okay, you can assign fourth, you can do slicing. Similarly, you can do slicing. Okay, we are familiar with slicing. We can do something like this. We can assign to more than one elements. We will be assigning third and fourth element as 300 and 400. and you can see 101, 300, and 400. First C was 101, 2, 3, 0. Okay, now it is 101, 2, but the last two elements, three and third and fourth element, oh no, sorry, yeah, not third and fourth element, fourth and fifth element, that is index third and fourth, will be 300 and 400. Okay, so this is how you can do it. And what you can do is there is this another thing that was not in Python. Sorry, this is Python that was not in lists. You can select elements like these. You can make a list that you want to select these indexes, and then you can just pass it in the square brackets, and it will do something like this. Okay, it requested index 0, 2, and 3. If we check, index 0 is 100, index 2 is 2, and index 3 is 300. We could have an index 4. In that case, it could be 100, 200, 400, 102, and 400. Okay. We can even do something like this. We can selected indexes, we can replace it. You just saw that we have selected 0th, second, and fourth index, and all these values 0th, second, and fourth index, they have all now values of, I think it's, yeah, it's 1 lakh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, it's 1 lakh. Okay. Now we have this NumPy array. We can get its size. Its size is 5. These are these come in really handy because when you will be working with images, you will be using this size. And right now, I'll say it again. This is just the introduction so that we can use it tomorrow and day after tomorrow. This is just an introduction so that you are not surprised at that time. Oh my God, what is this? Okay. And you can also see, okay, number of dimensions, that is that number of dimensions does it have? Okay, because the image, it can be a 3-dimensional image, it can be a single channel grayscale image. I'll be talking about it more in the next session. But yes, right now we are just introducing the functions and the shape again. If it was an image, it could have been like 1080 into 720, 1080p into 720, comma 3. Okay, we'll talk about it more later, but yeah, you just need to know functions, what kind of functions, and you can present an image in form of a NumPy array. We will also see that tomorrow. We'll write a few things and we will see it converted into an image. Okay, and now there are math operations, like you have this, you can find out the mean, that is average, in this case is 0. If I write 2 here, should be 1. No, yeah, 0.25, not 1. How it can be 1? Divide by 4. Okay, if I write 4, be 0.75. Yeah, so it can find out your mean and average. Okay, your mean, you can find out standard deviation, which comes in handy if you are doing something like data science or you are doing data analysis. Yeah, you can do all these things. You can find out the max, you can find out the standard deviation of data. You can see how easily you can, if you are working with probability, or you are working with some sensor data, these things can come really handy. Okay, what is the standard deviation? Okay, you can find out the max element, you can find out the minimum element. I'm going through this notebook fast because it is not very complicated. There are a lot of things and it is not very complicated. And you will have this notebook on my GitHub repository. You can download it anytime, and if you want to go through and do one thing, keep all these from either clone it to your GitHub or somewhere. Just keep them because they will help you recapitulate. Because if you have sit through all these sessions, and sometimes you need just a reminder. Okay, it is easier to recapitulate from the notes, so you can use these as notes. So we have two arrays. Now we'll do array addition. We have these two arrays. You can call them you can call them vectors. You can call them a matrix, like 1 by 2 matrix, and you can do addition. Okay, so this is just this is just simple matrix addition, element to element, simple matrix addition. Okay, you can, it can be something like this: 1 0 1 0 0 1, again and then again. Okay, so here it is. Yup. Wait. Sorry. So you can see this is some kind sort of a, this is a vector addition. This one plot vector, it was defined, if you remember, it was defined in the beginning. You will be able to understand this at the end of all of this. Okay, so this is a u vector, this is a v vector. You can see that u vector was 1 0, that means x by 1 0, so you can see 0 here, x by 1, and on y it's 0, and y is 0 on x, and you can see this is the resultant vector. This is how you can do the vector sum. Your arrays can be something like these. They can be, like in this case, it is a multiple of, okay, something important. So you can what you can do is you can multiply each element of this array with some constant. Okay, you can do it like this. I have declared this one, and then I have declared z equal to 2 into y. It multiplies it by y. It multiplies it by y. Each and every element of y is multiplied by 2. Okay, you can even do the product. You can even do the product. You can do the dot product. Do you see yeah, can you see how this is correct? Do you feel like this is correct? This is simple matrix multiplication. Okay, you can do the dot product of the two. I know this is getting boring, but yeah, just sit through, because tomorrow it will be useful. This is getting now monotonous, very monotonous. Add the constant to element. You can see that every element was, like, if you can multiply, you can also add for each element. You are adding it with 1. Okay, and if you want to use pi, there is numpy.py available. There is also math.py available. But yes, like you are doing some sort of plotting or some sort of electronics work where you need pi, or you are working with waves or signals, you can use this. Okay, numpy.py, and you can numpy.array 0. You can define something like 0 to pi by 2 to pi. This is an array, and then you can take sign of this whole array, numpy.sign. Did you guys okay, so here we define an array x. Okay, here we define an array x in which we have taken 0, pi by 2, and pi, and we want to know what is the sign of these arrays. Okay, sign of these values in the array. So you can use numpy.sign x, and this sign operation would be taken out on done on each of these elements, and here is the answer of. Okay, if there is a huge array, it will also be done with the same syntax. And you can use lines, you can use now linearly spaced. Okay, it returns evenly spaced numbers. You will see, right? Okay, so if you want to generate if you want to generate evenly spaced numbers, what you will do is you will use numpy.linspace, linearly spaced numbers. This will be your starting point. this will be your ending point, and this will be the uh, number of linearly spaced elements. In this case, you needed 5, so it generated 5. You can do 2, it will generate 2. You can generate 200, it will generate 200 evenly spaced numbers. This comes in handy when you are working with. This comes in handy on a lot of times. If you during plotting, during yeah, generally during plotting, or if you want to really see, yeah, if you want to see really fine plots, you will have, yeah, this comes in useful in plotting a lot. Uh, if somebody has worked with MATLAB, you can see that NumPy is working as MATLAB here. Like the functions that MATLAB has, NumPy also has. NumPy works like it's a mathematics library for working with mathematics in Python, similar to that. Although not alone, it cannot do all of those things alone. MATLAB is very powerful. Yeah, I showed you this. You can generate linearly spaced numbers, in this case 9, and you can do something like this. Yeah, okay. We have come to the plot. What we did, we generated numbers between 0 to 2 pi, 100 numbers, 100 linearly evenly spaced numbers, and now we'll take sine of each of those and we'll plot them. And you can see this is the sine plot. This is the sine wave. Okay. So like I said, if we keep it like 10, then run this, then run this, you can see the graph is not that smooth. Okay. But if you want it to be really smooth, if you want, now this is very smooth. Okay. You can even do 1000 here. Although after a point of time, it will look same to the naked eye. But yes, if you have to do very precise calculations sometimes, yeah, this is how you can do it. We are just doing the introduction. Yeah, we know how this will work. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can attempt these quizzes. This will be your homework. I hope you guys understand. Does anybody have any kind of doubt in this? Uh, you have like today I will give you, if you didn't understand anything or you have any kind of problems with anything, please feel free to ask now, because you can see I have increased my pace. I'm not explaining every single bit now, and it will be more like this now, because if I go into every single small detail, it will not be able to do a lot of things. If you have any questions, today will be your kind of last day for asking me very small details, but if you want to ask, you can ask now. It will be difficult to answer to go in that sort of detail from tomorrow on. We still have NumPy 2D. It's not that big though. Any questions? I will start with NumPy 2D then. We'll look into plotting tomorrow. Okay, so I'll move on now. Wait, where is, yeah, okay. So same will be importing NumPy. So what is NumPy 2D? You just saw that NumPy 1D, it was just vectors. It was a single, it was one-dimensional vector. But 2D NumPy array, you can think of that. Now we are working with matrices. You can imagine that this is the matrix. This is a row, this is a row, this is a row, and these three are part of a column. These three are a part of a column. These three are a part of column. And this is how you will do if you need to work with matrices in Python. You can use NumPy, and this is how you'll have to use NumPy. Okay, for people out there, I'll give a task. Print the above list in a matrix form. Okay, so this list you have to print it on a matrix form. What I mean is, out on the console, the output should look like this. Okay, so this is how your output should look on the console. Okay, you can try this. Okay, so now we have how we define 2D arrays. It will be like in first case, what was it? It was something like this. This is a list. Okay, this is a list. But if you want to define 2D, you will have to make lists of lists, a list of lists in this case, and you have to be consistent with the dimensions. Like if you have three elements in the first list, all the rest of the elements should also be the same, because it has to be similar, like n cross m dimensions. It should be consistent. Number of rows can be a number of rows. What I mean to say is number of rows can be different, but number of columns should be same. Okay, you cannot have a matrix like this, which doesn't have 33. This is not a matrix. This is not a 2D NumPy array. Okay, so the number of columns should be same. Okay, now we have this. We convert this into a NumPy array using the same syntax as we did before. We just put in the list, and in this case the list has other lists inside it, and you can see now the dimensions of it is 2. Okay, it is a two-dimensional now. It is a two-dimensional NumPy array now. Okay, we have columns and we have rows. Before, just we had vectors, and now if you look at shape, it will be in this case 3 cross 3. Okay, and you can imagine, yeah, you will imagine tomorrow. Okay, you can, and the size is 9. Makes sense. 3 cross 3, that is 9 elements, so the size is 9. This shape will be using a lot, and it returns a tuple, and we can access each of this. Yeah, we'll be using this a lot. Okay, so how can we access the element in I cannot how can when we have a matrix, we define generally, how do we define elements of a matrix? A11, A12, A21, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33, if we have a 3 by 3 matrix. But here we know that we are using zero indexing, so just to remember, you can come down one step. Like instead of A11, it will be A00, A01, A02, A10, A11, A12, and like this. So how you can access a particular element is, you can do something like this. If you want to access, yeah, we have a visual here. So we have this matrix. This is a matrix, and we have this 11, 12, 13 in the first row. In the second row, we have 21, 22, 23. And in the third row, we have 31, 32, 33. Okay. And now if we want to access in these elements, like this particular element, it is row number row number 2 which has index 1, and this is column number 3 which has index 2. So this is how you will access this particular element 23. Okay, this is zero indexing in 2 dimensions now, because we are working with 2-dimensional arrays. Does anybody have doubt with this particular indexing and how we are able to reach this element? Does anybody have any kind of problem? Okay, how will you access this element? Okay, tell me now. 23 in a general list, how will you get 23? Yeah, I'm waiting for answer now. How will you get 23? Tell me the syntax of getting 23 in a normal list. How will we get 23? Nobody is able to answer. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. I don't want to believe this. How will we access 23 in a normal list? Don't kill me, please. तुम मेरे साथ ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. What? Someone. Okay, so this 23 is in the second element of the list. This is the main list. Okay, this is the main list, and 23 we saw that it is the second element. That is, it is the second element. That is first index. So now the first information that I have is it is the second element, and that has index 1. Okay, now I have this information, and now I will see in this particular list, in the list inside a list, what number of element is it? It is not 0, it is not first element, it is not second element. Okay, this is the third element, but we have 0 indexing, so it will be at 2. So yeah, so this is how you access 23 in this case. You first go to this particular element, and then in this particular element you go to the particular element of this sublist. Okay, so this is how you do it. And in case of a NumPy array, you have to write, you don't have to do one square 1 square 2. You can do it in this way. Okay, yeah, we can do it also this way. We can use this notation also. I had forgot, sorry. It doesn't make a difference. Okay, so you can do the 0 by 0 this way, and you can also do this if you want multiple number of elements. Okay, you can do something like this to get these elements. What does this mean? A0 and then 0 to 2. What does this mean? This means that in 0th we want, in 0th, that is this, in this row we want first and second element, that is 0 and 1 element. If we wanted the whole row, we'll be doing something like this. Okay, but we just want 2 elements, so we'll be writing 2 here. Similarly, yeah, okay, cool. Similarly, in 2 rows, that means 0 first and second row, we want the second element with the second index, that will be 13 and 23. Okay, what if I want this whole thing, 22, 23, 32, 33? Can anybody tell me how can I access this 22, 23, 32, 33? Can anybody tell me this? I'm not giving up on you guys. That is why I'm asking questions again and again. How can we do this? Okay, so in order to get 22, 23, 32, 33, the first thing that we'll be doing is we need to access these two rows. How can we access these two rows? 1 till end or 1 till 3. Okay, because if I write 2 here, 2 will not be included. I have to write 3 or I have to write till end. Okay, I'll be writing 3. And then this, and then now I want these two elements. These have index 1 and 2. Similarly, I'll be writing 1 is to 3. Yeah, so this way I get 22, 23, 32, 33. Okay, I hope you guys can understand this. And now we have yeah, these we'll be talking about the same thing that we did in the last part. We create two NumPy arrays 1 0 0 1, and we can do addition. We can multiply each element of this by a particular number, similar to what we did. Okay, and then we can multiply even each of these matrices together. Okay, this will come in handy if you are working with data. I have worked with a lot of data on MATLAB, similar operations. These come in these are very useful. This is what you can take dot product, you can take sine of the whole thing, whole matrix. You can create the 2 by 3 matrix here and then get the transpose. Okay, so this is it. These were all the matrix operations and these are in the notebook. Do you have any questions? Please give feedback. I would want to read what you guys are thinking. Please, the feedback is anonymous. Okay, that is it for now. If you have any questions, please ask. If you have any other kind of thing to say, like if you want to complain, you can. If you have any suggestions, we can have those. I am open to hearing all kind of suggestions. If you want me to revise anything, I can do that. We can sit and maybe we can do it tomorrow. But yeah, please let me know. If you cannot speak here, the feedback is entirely anonymous, completely.